Let's have a warm round of applause for Aidan.
Have you ever pooped in your pants? I have. Hello, I'm me. Sometimes I browse the internet and consider myself to be a private investigator. At least, that's how all the toxic comments sections see me. I heard the other day that Mark Zuckerberg is pushing for something that he calls the metaverse. I didn't know what the flip a metaverse was and was confused as to why this man needed it. Mark describes it as somewhere you can get your work done, do yoga, and instead of the ever-needy meat sack of all of us dread waking up to every day, you can instead be a robot. Yay. You know, Mark has his own game called Rec Room, and upon further investigation and reading of the average age of the fan base, I decided to go with its more independent and popular brother, VRChat, from my experience. I wanted to know all about this new metaverse and what it might mean for the future. But I had one problem. Mark needs to bless me with his quest system, because there's no way I'm paying the rest of my soul and $300 for one. That was pretty easy. So far, it seemed pretty similar to Rec Room, except with more features. I could move my avatar around, go to different worlds, and had a small selection of avatars to choose from already. But I wanted something special to stand out amongst the users. Maybe a buff guy, maybe a hot dog. I didn't know yet. I checked out some of the most popular avatar worlds and got introduced to my first wave of players.
The emergency meeting in there. Bro. Alright, emergency meeting. I know who the killer is. It's him. He's the killer. He's been chasing me. Vote him.
All in all, the screams of the children and the satanic taste upon the anime-style avatar user's laugh was hard to get used to at first. It took me a whole 10 minutes before their screams became just another hum to my brain, and finally my own internal screams covered my head once again. This wasn't too helpful though, so I needed to consult an expert.
Never before have I found a community built on such a solid goal of pure escapism. I've met hundreds, maybe thousands of people before. Not one of them content with who they are in the real world. Do you know what it takes to be here? Do you know what I've sacrificed?
Your dignity?
So much more. The things I've seen.
Now it's an insightful look into the depths this game goes down in its everyday life and his everyday life. I decided to meet one of those people for myself, because you can never judge a book by its cover. What's this called? Among Us? In VRChat? I'm sure that'll be fun.
For horrifying child. This child makes me want to kill myself. I was not the imposter because it might look like I vented, but I actually have an emotion. I can like go on the ground because that's what SCP-173 does. I'm better. I'm very better. I'm very better, old man. Bye. Boop, 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 boop.
The blood-curdled, psychotic rampage. A mother goes on her child when they poop their pants does not hold a candle to the rage and agony I endured while in that world. Now, with growing mental impairment from the lack of brain cells displayed in such a short time span, and the therapy that would now be required to remove this memory from my head, I wanted to go into a more private setting where I wouldn't be subjected to medieval-style torture. My eyes haven't felt such a sting of pain in a long time. The things that exist in this 18-plus world cannot be described in detail without edging an aneurysm. You think fan fiction are bad, and then you experience Dumbledore X Snape in real life, right before your eyes, in the exact detail that was on Wattpad so many years ago. As a private investigator, it's my job to tell the world of my findings and give truth to the theories and ideas many of us have about unknown things. Respectively, fuck that for this game. I haven't seen such an abhorrent combination of people put into a sweat concoction ever. It's like an anime convention and Comic-Con decided to get rid of safety rules and throw in some hard drugs for good measure, lock them inside, and don't feed them for 3 days straight. But even that, in comparison, fails to show you just how mentally scarred an hour of this game has made me. Overall score for this game, 10 out of 10. A little something for everyone. I returned my headset to the closet and laid down on my bed to think about what I had just seen. If I had any opinions on this game, it would be despite all of the horror and trauma now piled on top of me, and despite all the weird and outcast people I'd met, I'd managed to shit my pants. Twice.
Big Flo is watching.
Hello there. You're probably watching the editing now. My inspirations for this project is Churdleys, who does a lot of comedic skits on YouTube with lots of characterizations. I've been recently rewatching a bunch of the Monty Python skits, and so the seriousness and the just staying in character the entire time sort of thing that they attribute to most of their skits I really enjoy. So that's what I wanted to do with this one, is really embrace the character. Yeah. I wanted to use a lot of dry humor. I really enjoy dry humor as well as blue humor, and I think putting them together makes a absolute unexpected fusion that just has an awkward undertone that really sets the mood for the rest of it. I really love the fact that I was able to incorporate a poop joke as the beginning line and the last line. I think that's just wonderful. Thank you for watching. Make sure to follow me on my Google Classroom. I post daily homework assignments for all of you to do.
I think that was maybe the first virtual reality themed humor project that we've had pre-sale.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Breaking new ground.
Breaking new
I
ground.
found it very fun because I already have 800 hours on this game.
Uh-huh.
So it was just basically describing any
and all things that you could find in there. And it was really bad. The thing I described with Dumbledore and Snape, I couldn't show that, but it was there. Trust me.
Tell me just one more time, what's the game, what's the platform it's on?
So it's VR chat, and it's on Quest and also on Steam.
Okay. Quest is Facebook. Sort of
Yes,
Meta.
Mark Zuckerberg praised him.
I really like your acting. And you were fun to watch.
I really like how you captured truly how awkward and horrible every part of this game was, from like the kids to everything else.
It's definitely like that. It's pretty much just going to an anime convention where everybody just doesn't want to talk to each other but really wants to talk to each other, so you just end up with people speaking over each other about the weirdest things. It just sucks.
I liked Harrison's feature on the balcony.
Yeah, he plays it more than I do. He has like 3,000 hours or something.
It was very chaotic, but like that's kind of what made it funny. So I thought that was good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I like the detective take on it. I thought it was really fresh.
You think you want to try this game out of curiosity then?
That's just a mistake.
Do you actually have a Google Classroom where you
No. Yes, I post homework on there daily if you want to go and join it. It's Google Classroom / VR chat. Lots of work.
Thank you for educating me. I had no clue about all that, so thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
Must pretend like the
All right. I think we might be seeing more of that in the future. So
Sadly, yes.
Sadly, but it'll be interesting to see how it evolves, because it's a really it's a very rapidly changing media right now. Right?
Very much so.
There's a lot of capital investment going into this right now. So, all right, thank you very much.